Season 2, episode number 10. What men should know about buying flowers for Valentine's Day.
Hey, hey. Tinashe, DJ Cassidy, drop that beat.
Target is launching a presidential size savings on home items, clothing, and a whole lot more. Don't miss out on 20% off kids' clothing. It's valid from February the 16th through to the 19th. You'll also get another 20% off men's and women's C9 clothing using this promo code PRESDAY20. That's PRESDAY 20. Again, snatch this deal on February 16th through to the 19th. Next, you're going to get 30% off home items, and you know what? An extra 15% off when you purchase a rug using this promo code called George. And that sale starts February 11th through to the 17th. Last, if you are a ninja who likes ninja type blending, get 20% off all Ninja blending products, and you can grab that deal on February 11th through to the 17th. Check out this deal when you visit www.keepit100girl.com. You're going to go to the podcast page and look for episode number 10. I'll make it even easier. Just tap on that podcast icon on your mobile and you go to the show notes and you can access your Target shopping link right there.
Because they're like, do you have anything? I can't go home without something.
Right.
You're like, do you have roses? Because I don't like to see that look on their eye, like, I'm just so just stressed out. You know what I mean? I don't know what to get.
Welcome to another edition of the Keep It 100 Girl podcast. If you're new or part of the 100 Tribe, I'm Nina Babel. I am the founder and host of the Keep It 100 Girl podcast based in Washington, D.C. And you know, on my podcast, it is 50 Shades of Cray Cray because I celebrate embarrassment, but in a good way. Look at it this way. I'm saving you from those embarrassing moments that no one ever told you about. And even further, I reveal what men and women are thinking, but not saying out loud. Look, we've all made the same mistakes. And I'm just trying to save you from another one of those embarrassing moments. And this means that I give you the information for you guys to make an informed choice. So I did an interview a few weeks ago with the daughter of the owner of Lee's Flower Shop based in Washington, D.C. And the reason I sought out this flower shop because I met the owner like many moons ago. And furthermore, I still had the card he had given me. And I said, you know what? This would be a good opportunity to seek them out. And so this flower shop was established in 1945 and it's still a family owned and run shop. And so again, I met with Christy and she was good enough to kind of fill in the gaps and is going to help you guys making your Valentine's choices. So again, this is going to serve as the men's guide to buying her flowers on Valentine's Day. And it goes both ways, people. If you are in the LGBT community, it's the girl's guide to buying her flowers. So, this is universal. But more importantly, is this you? Are you probably wondering what is the first thing you do when you enter the flower shop or just any prep in advance? Maybe you're just feeling the pressure. You're getting those hints from every side. And maybe you just have anxiety about it all, on how to show up right. You know, you're afraid of the rejection or even the criticism. I feel you.
But I do feel bad for some guys because they're just so desperate. They don't know, or just lost, like you said. They don't know what to get. And I feel so bad for those guys because I tell my boyfriend, I say, look, don't get me anything, or I tell him what to get me because I don't like to see that look on their eye, like, I'm just so just stressed out. You know what I mean? I don't know what to get.
Right.
And I know that look.
Yeah, we know that look.
It's so, like, I feel so bad for them.
Right.
So, like, man, I don't know what to get.
So if you feel lost or you just feel like I don't know the routine or I don't have one, you're in the right place. And I guess to all you married folks listening, or those folks who even have a long-term significant other, I would say this. After this year, you might want to set up a profile at that exact same florist. This way, they have your profile, they have your preferences, and more importantly, they have your significant other's preferences logged and filed. And you don't have to think about it in 2019. It's just a simple phone call or an email, and you just press go.
It just depends, but I normally ask their question is always, what should I get? And my question is always, what's the popular item? And I say, the best thing to do is cater it to the person. It should be more individualized, not just what does every woman like? What's her favorite color? What's her favorite flower? If you don't know that, then we can start. But I like to try to cater it to the person because they always say, well, what do you like? And I'm like, it's not about what I like because I might like something different than what she likes.
So the first takeaway is this. Write down what her favorite flower is. Ta-da! As we already know, never ever assume anything. And I'm talking personal, relationship, career. Don't do it. You don't have to be a lawyer not to do it. Not every woman is the same when it comes to flowers or anything else. You might think we all think alike, but we don't. Some don't even like flowers. Or maybe when it comes to Valentine's Day, some of us just want red, some of us don't want red. Christy explains it a little better than me.
If you don't know that, then we can start. But I like to try to cater it to the person because they always say, well, what do you like? And I'm like, it's not about what I like because I might like something different than what she likes. And then they start thinking, and then I say, okay, well, that's your homework. Roses are the set flower. Red roses, they signify love. So a lot of times people will just get roses. But then you have some people that know that their wife or significant other loves peach flowers or white roses or peach roses. Or if they know their favorite color, they say, I don't want to get the traditional red. I want to get another color. But red is the standard, especially I feel like that's the flower that most people get when they don't know what to get. Is red. Or, sometimes people just look at you like you're crazy when you say, what do you want to sing? Because they're like, of course, red roses. And you're like, okay, but, there's other options. But they're like, that's the only thing that they know of.
Second takeaway. And these are some leading questions, guys and gals, that you really need to consider, jot down, put it in your phone, especially when you're talking to your significant other about colors or just leading questions in such a way where they're not going to get suspicious.
You'll get her something, but then say, how'd you like it? And what's your favorite color? Find out some information and put it in your phone so that they can go back to it and say, don't do it right away. So say, what's your favorite color? And then secretly put it in your phone so that later you can say, when somebody asks you or when you're shopping for them, you say, I got this because this is your favorite color, not just because I just got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and a lot of times people say, well, her favorite color is black. And I'll say, I doubt if that's her favorite color. She may always wear black, but I'm sure she likes a color. You know what I mean? Then they'll say, oh, well, maybe purple or pink, because that's maybe a color that they gravitate towards. Some people come in, they want black roses, and that's a weird request because to me it seems like that's like you're breaking up with somebody if you want to give them black roses, but it ends up being pretty nice. It's different, but we have to spray them because they don't grow black. But you spray them black, either you spray the white roses black with the black spray, or red. The red roses can be sprayed black also.
So we're going to talk about some color options and the types of floral arrangements that are made available to you when you go into a florist shop.
We have all different colors of roses. We have red, yellow, pink, lavender, white, orange, peach, all different colors. And then we also have lilies that a lot of people like to add to the roses. or tulips are another popular item. Just a mixture. Some people just like a mixture, a good mixture of different things. But they may go with the colors for Valentine's. So the color for Valentine's Day are normally pink, red, and white. Or red and white. Some people throw pink in there. But that's pretty much the standard color, is red, pink, and white. So they may say, well, just give me a red and white mixture of flowers. Well, a lot of times, some guys will want to pick out each individual flower that they want in the arrangement. And we're like, you should allow us to do that, because they may pick out some crazy stuff that doesn't go together. But I think it's good to have different textures, especially if you're doing a mixed arrangement. It's good to have different textures, because flowers come in all different shapes and sizes. So I think it's good to have we have like hydrangeas, which are like a big fluffy flower. Then you have roses and lilies. I think it's good when we mix the different textures. It makes it look really interesting, and makes it very unique. But then you have some people that like contemporary and clean arrangements that are just like all white or all white and green, like monotone colors and stuff like that. I just think it's just based on the person or what they like. But yeah, you mostly have a greenery involved, which is like the base of the arrangement. And then you add like the flowers, and then you may add accent flowers like what we call baby's breath, or it's another flower called solidago, and it's a very little flower, but it accents the flower. It's like a filler, but we like to call it an accent flower instead of filler, because that sounds kind of like fluff or something that's not really needed.
So if you're feeling the anxiety and the pressure of coming home, going out to dinner with flowers on Valentine's Day, here's some of Lee's florist's personal touches when it comes to making every customer comfortable. The third takeaway is put a personal spin on a gift. It goes a long way, because you know why? It really tells a woman that you're listening. So if you pick up on things that she says, I need this, I need that, or you're just observant on what she needs, and you give that as a gift, oh my God, you will earn like super duper Mario bonus points.
Just maybe pacing back and forth, or just kind of you can just kind of feel the energy of them being nervous or stumbling their words or not really knowing. But we're here to make them comfortable and just kind of relax. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Just relax, and we'll help you figure out what they get. And then I always just say, like I said, after you give it to her, just say, so how, ask questions like, how did you like it? What's your favorite flower? Just oh, I got you roses, but do you have another favorite? Or do you have a favorite? And then that way, the next time, you know what I mean? Because I know people come in here that have been married for 30 years and they don't even know the favorite. And some people are brand new and they know the favorite. So it just depends. It's not a set thing.
Personalized touches go a long, long way, and I speak out of personal experience on that one. I prefer the small boutique way opposed to a big brand. So when I say this, when you're considering your partner, your wife, your husband, take all that into consideration, right? You just don't want to be a cookie cutter type of guy on Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, you don't. That's my Nina Girl takeaway. And if you're on a budget, there's room for you too. And Christy shares some suggestions for that guy who really, really wants to impress his girl, but in a minimalistic way, where it's all about the thought that counts. The fourth takeaway, tell your partner that you helped pick out the flowers yourself. And again, I'm talking about that personal spin, but that's just this added touch to let them know that this is representative of not only of my love, but ours. and they are going to eat that up.
The top 5 things would be to just pick their brain and I tell them that it's better to be individualized and not just generalized, because most women are very sentimental, and they like when you put thought into it and not just here some flowers. And other, instead of saying that, they're like, oh, and I tell them to tell her, you pick them out. A lot of times I say, why don't you at least have some type of say-so, because that's more sincere when they can say, I helped pick out the flowers. So a lot of times I say, well, what do you think about this? Even if they're like, I'll leave it up to you. I still ask their opinion, because that way afterwards I say, make sure you tell her you helped pick them out. And then they're like, okay, and then also, just like I said, I try to get them to have communication with their significant other, to ask them if they don't know. So that's your homework. A lot of times the budget, is important. We ask, what is your budget? So that, because most of the time they know what they want to spend, and that way we won't go over the budget and things like that. But giving a single rose, we tell them that that's even something nice. If you can't afford like a dozen, give her a single rose, because it's the thought that counts.
Let me tell you something. For you over-the-top guys who want to use that wow factor, more power to you. But for you guys that are on a budget and watching your pennies, there's really never a need to go over the top, especially if you cannot afford it. And Christy is going to share a scenario of what over the top means with all my listeners, so you guys just don't break the bank.
We've had like a guy come in and he wanted like 300 roses, and that was like a lot of money. Like, I don't even remember how much it was, but he wanted 300 roses, and I guess he was wowing somebody.
So, when you buy anything, there's always a hidden cost. And what guys don't take into consideration when they want to add those personalized touches is the labor fees. Boosts the cost of the flower, or even just the types of flowers. Christy, take it away.
Well, one thing about it is when we make a vase arrangement, we have to include labor, because we're designing it. So if you just get an arrangement wrapped, labor is not really involved, because we're just wrapping the flowers. But when you involve a vase and a designer actually placing the flowers in the vase and designing it, then you have to consider labor costs. So it's like 25% of the arrangement is the labor fee. But that adds to the cost. Also, people don't realize that, because they pick out the flowers and they're like, okay, $30. And so they're like, my budget is $30. So we'll pick out $30 worth of flowers. And then they say, oh, I think I might want it in a vase. And we're like, okay, well, that's going to not only add the cost of the vase, but also labor, because we're going to put it in the vase and design it. So that makes the price go up. And also just each individual flower is different. The price is different. Mm-hmm. So you may have lilies. People think that roses are more expensive, but actually lilies are more than roses. And then you have orchids are even more than both of the flowers. Orchids are like maybe one of the most expensive flowers. Mm-hmm. Which is one of my favorites, orchids.
Okay, so for you guys that are constantly late for everything, and for some of you who are on CP time, look, there's a cutoff on Valentine's Day where the florist no longer takes your order. Or you know what, better yet, they've just sold out of all their red roses. So what do? I'll let Christy from Lee Forests take it from here.
Well, we've been receiving orders already. We have about 20 orders so far for Valentine's Day. And this is the week, not even a week before, because Wednesday will make it a week. But so I normally say at least now is fine, like a week or like a week and a half before. But you can also place your order up until like the day before, and we'll still accept the order. Like next Tuesday, if you came in here, the line will probably be out the door. And so it just depends. A lot of times people wait until the last minute because they're waiting to get their paycheck and they're waiting for their money to get right. And so it just depends. Some people know that they waited till the last minute and they said, I'm not going to wait till the last minute. I'm going to place my order early. So that's good too.
So if you are not going to change and you know you're going to be late or running late, you still have a few options left that we're going to discuss.
Well, normally, I mean, sometimes we're even taking orders the day of. Okay. Because we're that on target, and some people will call the day of. And to be totally honest, people will call the evening talking about, are you still delivering? Like 6 o'clock. And you're like, are you serious? You're still calling, talking about a delivery?
Wow.
I don't know what they're thinking. Maybe they think it's like pizza delivery where you can call and get a pizza in 20 minutes.
Right.
Maybe. I mean, and shoot, nowadays with Uber and stuff like that, some people do actually send a carrier over and get the flowers picked up by Uber. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. They'll say, well, I'm going to send an Uber over to you to get, pick up my flowers. And so, can you take it out to the Uber? And we're like, yeah. And I guess the person on the receiving end will go get them from the car. I don't know, because we just give them to the driver. But I doubt if the driver will get out and give it to them. You know what I mean? I don't know. They may have arranged that. They may call, because a lot of times I've seen people that will call the driver and say, can you please take this in for me? I'll give you a tip, or maybe, something like that. Or carrier service.
The fifth takeaway, if you're working late, guys, maybe you're in traffic, maybe you're traveling back home, or your flight is delayed, use Uber to deliver your flowers. When it comes to making those deliveries, you will also need to consider the delivery charges on top of the price of the flowers. For example, Christy from Lee Florists will explain to everyone how the delivery charges apply on Valentine's Day.
Our delivery is $19.95 that day. It's normally $14.95, but on Valentine's Day, because of the supply and demand, it's $20, might as well say. So a Uber might be cheaper. If you want to get a car service, we'll box it up and you can ask them to take it for you. Yeah,
for you guys anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just a matter of whether the driver will on the receiving end. That's what I'm not sure of. Like, will the person have to come outside to the car to get their flowers? Because the driver may not do that.
So I'm gonna say it one more time, because 3 times is a charm. But if you're late, you're late. Plain and simple. SOL, you're straight out of luck, people. So you want to at least have a backup plan, and we'll talk about that a little later.
Sometimes we do sell out of roses. Just at the end of the day, on Valentine's Day, we're like, okay, we're out of roses. And, they're just like, but we have other options. We don't normally sell out of flowers, all the flowers. So they just might not be able to get the red roses. But yeah, they're desperate at some point, you know. And so sometimes we used to stay open until 8 o'clock that day, but we're like, if you haven't gotten your stuff by 7, because we're going to close at 7, because people want to go home and spend time with their Valentine, our employees and stuff. So we have to make it fair for them.
There are many, many reasons to buy from a florist, mainly because there's a difference between grocery store flowers, bodega flowers, and getting them from the florist.
A lot of guys, per se, don't necessarily go to the grocery store. A lot of them think about a flower shop. I think it's the women that think about grocery store, because a lot of times the women are doing the grocery shopping anyway, and they see all the flowers. But men, a lot of times, are creatures of habit, and they're like, flowers, flower shop. They don't think grocery store, flower shop. Maybe the newer generations, but the old school people, they don't think about getting their flowers from the grocery store. They're like, oh no, I don't want to get my flowers from the grocery store. And I mean, it's different grades of flowers. And we've noticed that because we've, in a crunch, maybe had to run to a grocery store to grab something that we could not get from anywhere else. And you could tell the difference in the grades. The grades are definitely, there's grades. There's levels to it. There's levels to flowers, and there's a lower level and a higher level. They even call some of them hybrids, which are even, we have them, but you'll have one lily and then you'll have a hybrid lily, which is even nicer and bigger. So, I guess at the grocery store level, you're going to get a different level of flower, which it may work for some people. Some people don't care that or don't realize that it's different levels, but they may say, well, my flowers didn't last as long. And that's because they've probably gone through a longer process to get to them, and the shelf life is less. So the shelf life will be longer here because we'll get them directly from the farm. There, they may get at the grocery store. They may get them, and it just takes a longer process to get on the shelf, and then it doesn't last as long.
Shopping local holds a lot of value when it comes to one-stop shopping, and as I've emphasized earlier, it adds that personalized touch.
And a lot of people are just getting into shopping local. They don't want to go to a big box store to buy something that they can get from their local flower shop because they don't want to see a local flower shop go away. They like the personal feeling.
Right.
I kind of compare it to like going to Home Depot versus going to a small hardware store. You sometimes do go to Home Depot just because it's convenient. They're going to have everything, but a lot of times it's hard to find a salesperson. It's hard to ask questions, or you can ask the question, but they don't know the answer because they're not really experts on one thing. So if you go to the grocery store, they may have a florist on duty, but they may not be as knowledgeable about things as a trained, a florist that specializes in flowers.
Right. Some examples of extra touches that you want to add to the flowers include the following.
And we got our chocolates this year from a locally sourced chocolate maker. So we're excited about that. And then we have a balloon. So you get the flowers, the teddy bear, a balloon, and chocolates.
And my last little hurrah are for the ladies. For you ladies that are listening, I always say that men like to pee on their territory. And I say this to say a lot of times sending flowers to work sends a message. The guy's trying to send a message to the world who your man or who your woman is. Full stop. Some women really like that in men. Just the fact that they're beating their chest, proclaiming their love for you in a public setting. And others don't. And I'm one of them. And I later found out Christy is too.
And so that may be just a dynamic that happens. Like, you come in here, you talk to the ladies, and you order your flowers, they help you out. And then the guys are delivering the flowers. So that may make the women feel good because they have a guy delivering the flowers to them. And all the women at their office are like, oh my God.
Right.
You got flowers.
Right.
I sent you flowers.
Right.
And a lot of times it's kind of weird because if we miss the delivery, like if the person leaves early or they left, we're late, whatever. It's not really that we're late. That's people get off like at 2:00 sometimes. Mm-hmm. And we're like, they're calling like, oh, my girlfriend got off early. Just cancel the order. And we're like, well, why can't we deliver it to her at home? Mm-hmm. We can reroute it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, I wanted her to get it at work. It's because they want the co-workers to see it. It's not necessarily they want her to get it. They want everybody to see it. Yeah, that's more important to them because we're like, but she still will get it at home. It's you wanted her to get it, right? But no, it's about everybody seeing it. Yeah, that's the wow factor for them.
And I used to hate that, truthfully, because they would give me a hard time, my coworkers. Like, what are you, like, because he used to do it every Friday. And I would just be like, you gotta stop embarrassing me, because now they're saying the guys are coming up and they're like, okay, what are you doing?
I know, right?
Because you can't be getting flowers like that every week. It's nothing.
Right. So you're not an attention seeker, but some people are, and they like want people to know I got a man and he loves me or whatever.
Yeah.
But so you're like me. I'm that way. I'm like, I don't like all the attention.
So let's do a quick recap of what you've learned in this episode and how you're going to take it all in and take action, because that's what you want to do, is take action. You have 24 hours plus and counting. So I'm going to help you through it. Remember, prices are going to be expensive. You are now down to the wire. And what are the things that affect the prices of flowers? We talked about delivery. We talked about arrangements, and I'm talking about, those vased arrangements, those personal extras. Of course, they're going to add on or tack on to the price of flowers. But we also wanted to emphasize for you guys that are on a budget, look, a single flower is just as romantic as a floral arrangement. So don't think that one single flower won't do it, because it will. I also have a little extra if you guys want to take advantage of it. But along with flowers, you can give her the gift of glam. And it doesn't have to be her, it could be him too. And that just goes to show that every woman and man loves to be pampered. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be glammed up? If you use this link, it's bit.ly/100val. So that's capital VAL. You'll get a little discount there. So check it out. And then lastly, what did Christy say? She says, be individualized, right? No woman, we're not all the same. We all have our uniqueness. And that's where the personal touch comes in. And again, asking those leading questions to understand what your partner would enjoy. I mean, it's a slam dunk, yes, if it's red roses, but you don't have to always do red roses too. There's other options that Christy talked about. And that wraps up another episode of the Keep It 100 Girl Show. Your go-to girlfriend is here to empower you every week, ladies. We celebrate embarrassment, self-love, and those life lessons that make you go, sheesh. Life is too short. Don't worry about stupid people and stupid things. Have fun, regret nothing, and don't let people and the worst of people bring you down. The fact that you all are open, vulnerable, and honest with me is a true testament of what Keep It 100 really means. But wait a minute, before you go, I want you to do two things. If you like this episode or any other ones, kindly leave me a rating and 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher. I rely on it a lot because it helps me stand out from the crowd and helps women, and even you men, understand us better. Don't forget, tune in on Friday for my Keep It 100 moment. If you like my style and my episodes, spread the good word using the handle @NinaBabel. Share my podcast on social, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and my Facebook Keep It 100 Girl page. If you want to share your story, drop me a line, question, story request, or pitch your own, then use my direct email address, ask@ninababel.com. Smooches!